Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talking Books with Tanisha. I'm Tanisha. So excited to be able to talk about this new book. I'm always excited about a book, but I'm getting more and more excited about the books I'm reading right now. I've been kind of stocking them up. It's been a while because I was refreshing myself for this next half of season five, where I'm going to be talking about just some really great books I've come across in the last couple of months that I want to share with you. So, welcome back. For those who are brand new, welcome to Talking Books with Tanisha. The whole purpose of um, this web series is really just to be talking about stories that are entertaining and thought-provoking and powerful, encouraging and motivating. It's also a way to introduce readers to new authors or to revisit authors that we've met in the past or maybe haven't even met before. It's also a way to really talk about expanding the love of literature and storytelling. Literacy is power, and power is access, and access gives us opportunities. And we know across our nation right now that literacy is an all-time low. And there's no need it needs, I mean, there's no reason why it has to be. We actually can do much better. And I think one of the big things that we don't really talk about stories enough. And so if I'm reading a really good book, I want to share that with you so that you can share that with someone else. If you're reading a really good book, I want you to share it with me so I can find that book. One of the books that I'm sharing today, actually, the book I'm going to share today with you is called When You Were Everything. Um, and this is the cover of the book. It's by Ashley Woodfolk, who is an author who is really great at like just kind of sharing this kind of powerful feeling of the characters and really putting you in a space where you are experiencing what the characters are experiencing, but also kind of grappling with, like, I think, some really tough subjects. And this one spoke to me because it's kind of the timeless story that many of us who identify as women, as girls, particularly with, I think, female relationships, what it means when you have a really, really dear, close friend, and that friendship ends. And sometimes a friendship ends because it's just time to wither out, and sometimes it ends really dramatically, and sometimes it ends traumatically. And that's kind of what this is exactly what this story is about. When You Were Everything has two main characters. One is Cleo, one is Layla. They have been best friends since junior high. They're now in high school. Um, and they're kind of going through, transitions or kind of, things have happened in both of their lives. And for the most part, they've been able to kind of grow together through those times, like through the hard times and some of the good times. But this new transition of what it means to kind of, find yourself in like another year of high school with, this desire to kind of, join different groups and like meet different people. And there's conflict between how Cleo and Layla navigate that. And the conflict really dissolves the friendship. And we have a chance to kind of go back and forth in time where we have a chance to think about what's happening right now with their friendship. And we're kind of introduced, like, here's what's happening with their friendship and the state of their friendship, which is really in a really strong state of disruption and despair, and a good chance to go back and kind of relive the moments where their friendship kind of fell apart. And Ashley Woodfolk does an amazing job of like really taking us on that journey and taking our time with that journey. There is no rushing. It's actually a pretty lengthy book. Um, it's really rare when you have a YA book that is so long. This book has, let's see, 389 pages. It's a very thick book. Um, but it's a book that you don't even really feel like the length of the pages. And that's something that I think speaks to like how well she's telling the story. But I identify with this personally because in high school I had this situation and again in college. And when you have a friend that you pretty much think are your forever friend, and you start seeing like maybe where the friendship is not going to last, or maybe things are not going to be as they always were, you kind of had to make that decision. You kind of have to like figure out what it means like to not be in that friendship anymore, and also who you are without that friendship. And so many of us, our identities and our ways of life, get really wrapped up in who we're spending our time with. And not that they shouldn't be, like, friendships are amazing and friendships are really important. And when friendships end, it's really painful. Like any other relationship, it hurts and you have grief over it, you have loss over it. And one of the things that I learned is that, when you lose a friendship, um, it's not something that you forget because you have all the memories that you've endured with that person, experienced with that person. Those don't leave you. They don't ever go away. And so what you have is like the memories, but you don't have the friend anymore. And so how do you kind of deal with that loss and that grief? Um, one of my favorite parts of this book is when these two characters have a chance to kind of just come to each other and really just kind of let it all out. Like what is happening? What was the thing that kind of messed it up for us? Like why are we not, together anymore? Why are we hurting each other so much? And when they get to the point of being able to tell each other the truth is when they can actually release each other and feel not bad about it, not feel hateful around it, not feel vengeful around it. It's important. And so one of the things that Ashley Woodfolk talks about towards the beginning is like all of us have been probably somewhere along this path before. Um, and we've all had to kind of figure out how do we keep going. So if I was going to ask Ashley Woodfolk a question, like I'd love to hear her experience with her friendship that inspired her to write this story, and what does she hope the readers will take from it? Like, what are lessons that you like for us as readers to talk about or take around what it means to be a friend, and what the art and skill of friendship is? 'Cause I think it is work, there's skill that's involved with maintaining a friendship. And then what do you hope that we will hope for the author for the characters in this book? What do we as readers hope for Cleo and for Layla as they move forward in their lives away from these friendships? And so um, that's this book. That is When You Were Everything. And there's a little bit of a meaning behind that title, so you'll see it when you read it. Ashley Woodfolk, who is an amazing author, you also would have read her book or her stories in Blackout and Whiteout with her anthologies, which I'll talk about another time. But just wanted to share like another book, another great story. If you like what you are hearing, please like and subscribe and share. My goal is to get my viewership up and to get these stories out. Um, One of the things I'm going to be working on for next season, which will be coming up in just a few months as we head into like, spring and summer, is really thinking about books that can help us expand our knowledge around understanding relationships between nationalities, ethnicities, racial identities, and all identities, how we are able to value them and to treasure them and to care for them. So I encourage you to like share these out, like these videos, share, a couple of videos that might speak to a young person or even an older person in your life. Again, Talking Books with Tanisha. I'm also on Instagram at Talking Books with Tanisha. I'm currently sharing one book by a Black author every single day of Black History Month. But those books will stay up there. So you don't have to wait until Black History Month to read those books. Like, please make a collection today.